Good morning, students. I am Neha Goyal. In last slide, I have already discussed about the digital modulation techniques, its basic properties, and its basic terms. Today, we will discuss about the ASK and FSK modulation in details with its modulation circuit and demodulation circuits, its basic advantages and disadvantages. ASK modulation, amplitude shift keying modulation. Amplitude shift key or on-off keying modulation is the simplest digital modulation technique. In this method, there is only one unit energy carrier and it is switched on or off depending upon the input binary sequence. The ASK waveform is represented as ST is equals to under root 2 PS cos 2 pi FCT to transmit the bit 1. Here PS is the signal power and the FC is the carrier signal frequency, and to transmit 0 the signal will be 0. Here no signal will be transmitted. The ASK waveforms looks like a on-off of the signal, so it is also called the on-off keying modulation. Here in this figure, waveform A shows a unmodulated carrier signal. B represent a NRZ unipolar bit sequence, and the waveform C represent the A modulated signal. In this, where there is the bit 0, their signal is 0, and when we are transmitting one that is modulated by the high carrier frequency, and there a carrier frequency is transmitted. Again, when 0 comes, the bit is switched off, and when again bit on, then there a high carrier signal is transmitted. Generation of ASK signal. ASK signal may be generated by simply applying the incoming data and the sinusoidal carrier to the two inputs of the product modulator or a balance modulator. The product modulator is a diode switch which works as a rectifier. When we give it a high input, then it passes it, and we give it a 0 signal, then it blocks it, or we can say that it passes the DC signal 0 signal. So this concept, according to this concept, the working of the ASK signal we will study. Here the figure shows the block diagram of ASK modulation. It has a carrier signal, a data signal, and a band limited filter. The carrier signal sends the continuous high frequency carrier signal. Binary sequence that is come from the digit message signal makes the unipolar input to be either low or high. The high signal closes the switch, allowing the carrier waveform to pass. And when there is a low input, switch opens, means to say there no output voltage will be passed. The band limiting filter shapes the pulse depending upon the amplitude and the phase characteristics of the band limiting filter or the pulse shaping filter. ASK demodulation can be done by the two methods. First is asynchronous ASK demodulation and second is the synchronous ASK demodulation. When the clock frequency at the transmitter matches with the clock frequency at the receiver, it is known as the synchronous method. And when there is no matching in the frequencies at the transmitter and receiver, it is known as the asynchronous method. Many times we also know this method as a coherent and non-coherent. Asynchronous ASK demodulation. The block diagram shows the asynchronous ASK detector. It consists of a half wave rectifier, a low pass filter, and a comparator. When the ASK signal passes through the rectifier, we can obtain the positive half waveform signal. After that, the signal will pass through the low pass filter and obtain an envelope detector. Then get rid of the DC signal. The digital signal will be recalled. Synchronous ASK detector. The block diagram shows the synchronous ASK detector. It consists of a square law detector, low pass filter, and a comparator and a voltage limiter. The square law device is one which output is proportional to the square of the amplitude modulated input voltage. Firstly the input is given to the square law device which squares the signal. After that, this squared signal, according to the rule of cos square theta is equals to 1 plus cos 2 theta divided by 2, the low pass filter passes only the DC signal and blocks the high frequency signals. Then the comparator and the voltage limiter helps to get the clean digital output voltage. Simplicity is the main advantage of the ASK modulation technique, that its circuits and its process is very much simple. But at the same time, because we know that the amplitude, this is the amplitude modulation technique, and the noise and the interference affects the amplitude first. So it is very sensitive to the noise. Frequency shift keying is a digital modulation technique in which the frequency of the carrier signal changes according to the input binary data. The expression is for the binary one, the signal as a cos 2 pi f1t, and for 0 signal is transmitted as a cos 2 pi f22. Here, to modulate the 0 and 1, different carrier frequencies are used. To modulate 1, we use the high carrier frequency, and to modulate 0, the low carrier frequency is used. The binary 1 and 0 are called as mark and space frequencies. Here these waveform shows the input binary sequence and a modulated FSK waveform. From the second waveform, it is clear that when 1 is transmitted, the signal carrier frequency is high, and when the 0 is transmitted, signal carrier frequency is low. The FSK modulator circuit is shown in the figure. It consists of a clock modulator circuit and a binary data and a adder circuit. We can see that it consists of a 2 ASK modulator circuit, in which one ASK modulator circuit is modulated by the high carrier frequency and second signal is modulated by the low carrier frequency. But when the data 0, here according to our requirement, the data 0 should be modulated with the low frequency, but if we directly modulate it, we pass it to the switch, the output will be 0. So here we have a requirement of inverter. So as we are seeing in the signal that is passed to the cos 2 pi f2t frequency signal is firstly inverted to make the 0 as a 1, and then after it is modulated with a low frequency. So we get a combination of the low frequency and a high frequency signal, and then these signals are added to get out the FSK modulated output signal. Like as the ASK demodulation process, FSK demodulation process is done also as the asynchronous detection and synchronous detection. FSK detector. The block diagram shows the asynchronous FSK detector. It consists of a 2 bandpass filter, 2 envelope detectors, and a decision circuit. Firstly, the FSK signal is passed through the 2 bandpass filter that are centered to the space frequency and the mark frequency. The space frequency is the low frequencies for the low frequencies, and mark frequencies are for the one as a high frequency. The output from these 2 bandpass filters are like the 2 ASK signals which are given to the envelope detector, and this signal is then each envelope detector is modulated asynchronously. The decision circuit chosen which output is more likely or selects it from any one of the envelope detectors. It also reshapes the waveform to a rectangular one. The figure shows the block diagram of the FSK detector. It consists of a mixers with a local oscillators that generates a low carrier frequency and a high carrier frequencies, 2 bandpass filters, and a decision device. Firstly, the input is given to the mixers where these signals are mixed with the local carrier frequencies and generates a signal frequencies and a higher frequencies. The bandpass filter then passes only the low frequency signals or the DC signals and blocks the higher frequency signals. After that, the signal is given to the decision device, which takes the decision whether the output is considered to be a 1 or 0 according to the output of the both of the bandpass filters. The major advantage of the FSK modulation is that it has the better noise immunity, and the circuit is easy to implement, because in this the variation is in the frequency, not in the amplitude. So noise immunity is better, and because it uses the circuits that are used in the ASK modulation, so its implementation is also easy. But it has a disadvantage of high bandwidth requirement, because there is the variation, signal is transmitted in the variation in the frequencies. That's why it requires the higher bandwidth.